Let's get into it, shall we? The Great Resignationing. We'll call it that. I saw, everywhere you look, you hear people talking about how there is this crisis of all these lazy people not wanting to work and all this other shit. There was a really interesting article that I saw. The headline was basically like that they're really upset because workers who are in work from home situations like myself are doing things like having sex, going on dates, taking naps, all of that stuff on company time. I think that's fucking hilarious. Companies have been shitty for a long time. Not all companies, hashtag not all companies, but a lot of companies have been really shitty about giving their staff space to do things like, go to appointments and things like that. This is because we have this sort of cultural mindset that says the company don't owe you shit. You owe the company everything. I am a libertarian socialist, which means that I am a prick. It also means that I'm not so big on the bosses. Businesses need to understand that, yeah, I'm gonna do things. The old joke about pooping on the company dime. I'm not having sex on company time. If the opportunity presented itself, I probably would. If you're watching and you're my boss, hi boss. To me, it always comes down to the important question: did I get my shit done? Did I do a good job? Right? I don't care about my company not liking the fact that I do things like, because I'm working from home. Yeah, I've been taken to napping for my lunch break, and it's wonderful, so wonderful. And so what? So what? Right? If I left work early or wasn't 100% focused on work or whatever, at the end of the day, either I'm doing good work with good quality and good quantity, or I'm not. And if I'm not, fucking fire me. But if, let's just say, I had me, the regular visits from a lurid encounter person, ooh, and I was doing that on company time. Yes, that makes me a whore because I'm getting paid. I'd be a sex worker. But if the company's happy with the work I'm doing, I don't give a fuck. And I think that that's something that businesses need to fucking learn. More power to the people, especially when it comes to having sex. But I think it's interesting, this whole conversation around can't find good workers, because I've been not sure about this one. Right? Obviously, like, we know that there are workers who didn't go back to work after COVID because of things like, being a caregiver to children, that just they did that for a while and thought, what, we've adjusted our lives. I don't need to go back. And then there's the shitty jobs, the fast food jobs that they're like, oh, we can't find anyone to work in our shitty fast food job. And you go, all right, I guess that's a thing you have to deal with, isn't it? My eldest kiddo was, they're looking for work. And I said to them, hey, there's a buddy of mine says that WestJet's hiring lots and lots of jobs. And they looked at that. And my eldest kiddo is a late stage millennial, and eldest kiddo looked at the website and was like, yeah, they're hiring, but they're hiring all these jobs where angry patriots are going to cough on you and explain that COVID is in fact a lie by the Jewish globalists, blah 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 blah. And they were like, I don't want to do that. I don't want that job. That job can fuck right off. This is something that is new, and it's something that is interesting to me. Creative workers kind of are breaking all of the traditionally accepted rules of employment. If there are jobs, people will come for them. Pittsburgh had real problems with, I think it was the steel industry collapsing on Pittsburgh. And how are we going to do? Well, I hear that tech is the thing. So let's rebrand and build a tech industry. And they spent some money, and they got a lot of funding for things like post-secondary projects and things like that were involved in the tech sector. And the most notable of these was a search engine called Lycos. Old timers like me will remember Lycos. It didn't last very long, but it was a really good search engine at the time. The city of Pittsburgh like gave them this beautiful office and funded the creation of this project and spun it into a independent corporation. Like it was a real win for them. And Dr. Florida went on. He was going to Harvard to get his doctorate, and reads in the newspaper that Lycos is moving. So he calls people back in Pittsburgh. He's like, "What happened? Why is Lycos moving? Like we put so much into this." And the people who worked there were like, "Yeah, but we can't get anyone to work these jobs." Now that's opposed to everything we know about economies. If there's work, people will come and they will do that work. That didn't happen. People are doing this thing where they're saying, "I'm not going to work the shitty job." And it's not that people are lazy and collecting welfare and all the other shit. It's simply that they're adjusting their lives accordingly and saying no. And fuck yeah. Because bosses need to hear no. They need to hear no a lot more. My generation was told all these wonderful things about like you're going to get a job with a company and work there till you retire. And like 20 minutes after we got our first job, we were like, well, that's a bunch of horse shit. And so we did what Gen X was taught to do, and that was the least amount possible. It's an interesting time watching the struggle between organized labor, regular unorganized labor, and the bosses. The number of strikes that are going on right now, or have been going on recently, is huge. You have all of these people who are saying we would like to have pensions, we would like to have maybe even like limited to a 60-hour work week or some, like ridiculous amount of work like that. And, give us, decent health care. And the companies are like, it's a really hard time for us right now, COVID. And then they talk about their record profits. Sorry, homie, if you're making record profits, you're extracting all that value from your staff. You don't get to not reward people. Still on the topic of the Great Resignationing, I got this phone call from a headhunter this week, and he calls up. Originally, it was an email, and he sent me an email, and he was like, "Hey, that's great opportunity, cybersecurity business analyst, exactly like your skill set. Like you'd be perfect for it. Let me know." So I replied, and I was like, "Here's the thing, buddy. I have a gig. It's a good gig. I have a feeling like your rate is exactly this to this that you're offering. I'm not going to use numbers. It doesn't matter how much money I make in my day job. Fuck the world. But this to this. This is your rate that you're asking." I said, "I make way more than that, and the job that you're asking for is worth way more than that. But you don't want to pay it because you think that you can get away with not paying it. So no, I'm not interested." So he calls me. And he's like, "I wanted to talk to you about this." And I'm like, "Okay, what do you want to say?" He's like, "Well, first off, how did you know the rate? Because you got it right." And I was like, "Because I keep getting calls." And originally I would get excited about it because, like, oh, wow, hey, a new gig, a potential new gig might be an awesome opportunity. And then they tell you the rate and you're like, are you shitting me? No, I have a degree. I have 25 years of experience. I'm really good at my job, and I'm specialized in a couple of key areas that are huge right now. No, you don't get to pay next to nothing for that. Here is a bag of dicks. You may consume them at your leisure. First off, I want to say thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out. Thank you to my patrons that support me on Patreon. I am a little streamer, and these people are all really awesome for supporting me. Thank you to I Am Canadian. Special huge thanks go to my one prophet, Shithead Dave Anderson. And of course, my final tier of supporters is the Gods. This tier is the most expensive and likely to never have any members, but Patreon really told me I should have one, so it's true, I guess. There are no gods. I try to put up stuff at least once a week, and I live stream every Saturday at noon Mountain Time on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, like an old man. Again, thanks for watching, and have a kick-ass day.